After you've made the decision to pursue adoption, the next step is to explore your options. Should you pursue domestic adoption or go international? Are you more comfortable working through an adoption agency or an adoption attorney? In recent years, many people have chosen to adopt internationally. Usually they choose international adoption because of fears that the birth parents will change their minds about adoption and the adoptive parents will lose custody of the child they regard as their own. Every adoptive parent's nightmare. Others choose international adoption because they want to save a child who would otherwise lead a very difficult life. If you are drawn to international adoption for the second reason, then it's probably a good choice for you. On the other hand, if fear of the birth parents is driving your decision, you may want to explore domestic adoption further before committing to the international route. Many of the fears prospective adoptive parents have about birth parents are simply untrue and are the result of sensational media attention that focuses on the very rare cases. If you choose to adopt domestically, the next decision you have to make is whether you want to work with an adoption agency or with an adoption attorney. The biggest difference between the two is that in a private adoption or an adoption handled by an adoption attorney, the prospective adoptive parents take a more active role in bringing about their own success. This generally involves networking, advertising, and maybe using the internet. Sometimes adoption attorneys can help in the process of finding a baby to adopt. In many cases, there's not a lot of difference between using a reputable adoption agency or a reputable adoption attorney. Often becomes more of an issue of with whom are you more comfortable working. There are some people who prefer the structure and the organization and the institution, so to speak, of an adoption agency. There are others who would prefer to work with an attorney where they might receive more personal attention. Regardless of whether you choose an adoption agency or an adoption attorney, there are certain factors that you must consider in making that decision. The first question is, do you trust the integrity of the adoption professional? Whether it's an attorney or an adoption agency, do you have trust in their integrity? The second consideration is your likelihood of success. You have to choose an adoption professional where you think you have a reasonable chance of being successful in adopting a baby. The last consideration is your comfort with the adoption professional. Adoption is a very difficult, emotionally charged process. Do you like the person? Are you going to be comfortable with them, working with them? Do they answer your questions? And maybe just as importantly, how are you going to feel about them meeting with the birth mother on your behalf? Are they going to make a good impression for you? Are they going to be able to answer her questions? Are they going to be able to help you be successful in adopting a baby? Think about these considerations, look at the information that we provided, and then if you'd want, you can contact us to obtain more information.